Okay, ready when you are, Chair.
Okay. You ready to go, James?
Yes, we are, yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Well, welcome everyone to today's meeting of the Joint Transportation Board, both those that are participating and those who are watching from home. If you have technical difficulties during the meeting, please contact the Democratic Service Officer on call, who will attempt to assist you. Today's officer on call is Katie, and the number to call is 01843 577 046. I would ask participants when you're not speaking to mute your microphone. This minimises background noise and will help everyone in hearing the proceedings. Microphones must only be on if the participant has been granted permission to speak. To gain permission to speak, please indicate in the chat to the right side of the screen. Now, would everyone present please ensure that their mobile phones are turned to silent and that they're not used to make or receive phone calls whilst the meeting is in progress. Please also refrain from checking emails or conducting other business and ensure that you're in a quiet room, free from distractions for the duration of the meeting. Please note this meeting is being live streamed to members of the public. The meeting will also be recorded and will be subsequently broadcast on the internet. Please can I ask members of the board and officers to confirm they're present in the meeting when I read out your name. So I believe Councillor Crittenden will not be here, but Councillor Crittenden? No. Councillor Fellows?
Yeah, evening, Chair.
Evening. Councillor Hart?
Oh, here, Chair.
Councillor Keane?
Here, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Maeve Saunders?
Present, Chairman.
Councillor Scobie?
Yeah, Chair.
Councillor Constantine? No. Councillor Dawson? Councillor Gain?
Here, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Hurst?
Yes, here, Chair.
Councillor Lewis? And not here. And Councillor Messenger? No. Okay, and officers are Mr. Valek, Mr. Platson.
Evening, Chair.
Evening.
Evening, Chair.
Evening, Miss Vickers, Mr. Thomas,
Evening, Chair.
and Miss Shuttleworth.
Evening, Chair.
Good evening, everyone. Are there any non-board members who wish to speak under Council Procedure Rule 21?
Not that I'm aware of, Chair.
Thank you. So we'll go on to agenda item 1, which is apologies for absence. I believe apologies were received from Town Councillor Pennington and Councillor Crittenden. Are there any other apologies for absence?
Councillor Dawson has also offered her apologies.
Okay, thank you very much. No others. Agenda item 2 is declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest?
Chair, there might be, because I think parking might be discussed, and we own a shop in Birchington. That's Elizabeth Hurst and myself.
I did raise an email. Oh, sorry about this. I've got barking dogs in the background.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Get down, Chair.
Okay. I'm not quite sure. Okay, that's if the parking is introduced. Okay, thank you very much. Any other interests? No. We go on to agenda item 3, which is minutes of the previous meeting, which you will have received. Do members agree that the minutes of the Joint Transportation Board meeting held on the 15th of December 2020 be approved as a correct record? Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Maeve Saunders? And a seconder? Councillor David Hart. And I heard a lot of agrees, so I'm taking it that everyone is happy with that. Thank you. Agenda item 4, Thanet Highways Works Programme 2020 to 2021. I call upon Mr. Valek from Thanet District Manager, KCC, to present the report.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, everybody. As most of you are aware, the Highway Works programme we're at the end of this year, and the Highway Works programme gives detail for schemes approved for this year. As we are at the end of the year, much of what is on the Highway Works programme is showing a completed status, and by the time we get round to the next JTB, we'll have a much fuller programme. I'm not minded to go through every bit of detail as usual, but I will go through the appendixes and pick out some of the more significant schemes. Starting with Appendix A, the road and footway cycle renewal and preservation scheme. As you've probably seen sight of the report, most of everything is completed on there. We have one site, Cliff Terrace, from Zion Place to Athelston Road, that's to be investigated for 2021. A couple of schemes at the bottom, at the top, Canterbury Road West from Hengist Way to Hayne Road, that's to be programmed. And the B2050 Manston Road, which is the section of Manston Road that runs from the old airport terminal where the test centre is now, through to the Spitfire Crossroads. You've probably seen that that's in a pretty poor condition, and we're waiting for that to be programmed for repair. Going down through footway schemes for this year, one that's been confirmed. As I say, as we get into next year, there'll be more confirmed, but one that's been confirmed is New Cross Street in Margate. There's a section of footway in New Cross Street, Margate, where there are a lot of private sellers, where the footway's in a poor condition, where we're looking to do some strengthening works and renewal to the footway there. Appendix B Drainage schemes, George Fifth Avenue, the main scheme there, that's the work's complete, and the planting has now gone in place, and hopefully we should start seeing that looking nice once the spring comes and things start to get a bit greener. The next scheme that we're looking at is Hartsdown Road, where it floods at the bottom near the cricket pitch, and that's added to the forward work programme for replacement soakaways. Appendix C, as usual, lists the sites that have the street lights that have been identified as part of the structural testing regime for replacement. Appendix D, transportation schemes. The main one of interest there for now is the new crossing at Canterbury Road outside Ursuline College. That's a local transport plan scheme. There's no externally funded schemes at present. No local growth fund schemes at present, and there's a long list of developer funded works. One of the significant ones which you will have seen that's just opened now on the 278 agreement is Nash Road, the new section of road that is 278 money as part of the housing development up there. Scrolling down, I will take questions obviously at the end as well. Bridge works. There have been some upgrades to the safety barriers on the Thanet Way, and the bridge at Moncton, where we've currently got traffic lights on because there's a weight restriction on it due to it being weak. The traffic lights will be removed soon, and some priority signage to be installed, and the bridge refurbishment design has commenced. No works on public rights of way. Appendix H, traffic systems. There's one site that's completed, which is Millmead Road at the junction with Dane Valley Road, and then there are 4 sites proposed. It says here for February 21 at the time of writing, which are upgrading to an existing crossing at Westwood Road, High Street and Carlton Avenue. Broadstairs, I know that's been completed. Hearson Road near Montefiore Avenue, and High Street near Prospect Place Broadstairs. Combined member grant schemes. These are the schemes that have been approved for funding with the relevant officer and Simon Jones, the Director of Highways. And they include the contribution to the Puffin crossing outside Ursuline from Emma Dawson and Liz Hurst, and Canterbury, and then another scheme, Canterbury Road Birchington and Park Lane Birchington, the installation of 2 small, 4 small mammal signs, 2 on each road. That I can confirm that those works are complete as well. Appendix J lists the road closures in the area that are planned that are in excess of 10 days. A fair list there, as you will have seen. And that completes the Highway Works programme. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Paul. Do members have any questions on these, or any questions regarding highways works generally on street? Ms. Councillor Hurst.
The only thing I was going to highlight with street lighting is that there is one ongoing, for instance, in Westgate in Elm Grove, which I have passed on to highways, but it's been raised to me because of the current police investigation that is ongoing, London Sandwich. And I've got an inkling that this is going to perhaps become a little bit more highlighted to us. I'm being quite sort of diplomatic here, because of people being concerned that streets aren't necessarily bright enough for ladies to be walking about of a night. Elm Grove in Westgate, I don't know personally, I haven't been there of an evening, but apparently it's quite a sort of dull lighting. But it is something perhaps to bear in mind, because I think we might get more of these raised in the future. And that's all I was really going to say on this. Just highlighting that I think we might get more because of the current issue. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Do members have, any other members have a comment?
Can I ask a question, please?
Of course. Councillor Fellow.
Yeah, question to Mr. Valek. At the top of Park Lane in Birchington, as you get towards Quex, we used to have an illuminated 30-mile-an-hour sign, which has disappeared and it's never been replaced. Can you tell me if it's going to be replaced? Because there's definitely still needs some work at the Brunswick Junction to slow traffic down that's heading into the village.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Fellows. You're right. There was one there, and it was hit, I believe, in an RTC. Our traffic systems manager, Toby Butler, has responded and given a response on that. And no, it's not going back. I can find that response, which is obviously a fuller response than I'm able to give you now, and maybe get that across to you. Would that help?
Yeah, I mean, I get occasionally people writing to me saying, you know, is there anything that can be done at that junction to slow the traffic down on that bend, which is bad. I mean, if you live in Birchington or you travel around Birchington, you know that is an issue there.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, I obviously over the years we've done a lot of work at that junction. We've lining, some signing. We moved the 30 mile per hour limit border, if you like, from the village side of Quex entrance to the Acol side of Quex entrance. And yes, I mean, you know, I live in Birchington, I'm familiar with the area, and there's, you know, 30 mile per hour signs as you enter the area, but it doesn't seem to matter what we do. You can sit at Brunswick Junction, want to come out and turn right, and there will always be the odd one that come around that corner going faster than they should. And they did that even with the interactive sign there. Yeah, I'm not sure that there's anything more we can do there. But with regard to the response for the interactive sign going and not going back, let me speak to Toby Butler and see if I can get a more fuller response than I'm able to give you tonight. I believe one went out some time ago. Was it right? Did you raise it, Liz Hurst?
Yeah, I did actually. I raised exactly, and in fact, somebody spoke to me today about the same issue. And I did explain that as far as I knew, that sign wasn't going back up again. But yeah, it's a big issue in Birchington, as Councillor Fellows said, and it is a very dangerous road. In fact, one of the residents raised it to me who lives very close to it today, and I said, you know, I'm really sorry, but I don't think that sign's going back up. I think it does need looking into further, but short of slowing drivers down, which, as you said, they don't all do, I don't know what the answer is either, but it definitely needs to be continually looked at. Thank you.
Councillor Hart.
Thank you, Chair. My only issue with that is there no way we could put a mirror opposite so that traffic coming out of Brunswick can look in a mirror and see what is coming from their right? You know, a lot of houses have these stuck across the road, don't they? So they can look out left and right, so you can see past vegetation, because not everybody has a 175-foot visibility line. Is there something we can do with that? Put a, you know, either a mirror or a camera or something there that just shows what's coming around the corner?
There is a very strict process for mirrors on the highway, and I'm not able to quote all of the detail now, but they do have their place. I don't believe that there are many places that there are for them. Like I say, the process is strict. They can lead to a false sense of security to users. They can become misted up, dirty. They're not the best in bad weather. So they do have their faults. But I take your point, but there is a policy and process for it, and I'm not so sure that one would be permitted there, but maybe something to look into.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, okay.
Thank you. Given that the sign was lost because there was an accident there, do we have any stats on numbers of accidents there?
To hand, I don't. I mean, obviously, the crash data history for any location is available to everybody online now, and there's a link through the KCC website, Highways website, that takes you through to the site where you can get your own crash data.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I will ask one, and that is that it's been commented to me that of why traffic lights were actually being replaced when they were working. And I just wondered, is it a standard that they have 20 years or whatever it is, and then they have to be replaced? Because in Broadstairs, the ones that have just been done in the High Street were working. I don't know if you can answer that at all, Paul.
Yeah, apologies, I'm not able to answer that question tonight, but I'll go away to Toby Butler and get an answer as to. I should imagine it's probably it might be lifespan, it might be software, something like that. But I'll ask Toby Butler.
I just wondered if we, because obviously if they're still working, they're lasting longer than maybe the lifespan that's been assessed for them.
Yeah.
And of course, people will say, well, why are you replacing when it's already working?
But so just on the few questions that I've had tonight, if I can just say that the question from yourself, Chair, regarding the lights, I'll take away and come back to you on that, and then the same about the junction with Brunswick and Park Lane, that I'll come back to Councillor Fellers and Liz Hurst on that. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Were there any other questions that members wanted to bring up regarding this or other issues? I appreciate that it's not on the agenda, but I think this is the opportunity, if people wish to bring something up and discuss it, that we do so. Councillor Hart.
1 second then. We'll call an end to the live feed and the meeting.
That's fine.
And then we can have a more general discussion about other things that aren't on the agenda and with the officers that are here, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Super. Okay, I'll just ask Katie to stop the recording and we can carry